Hello viewers! Today we are asking the Magic Orb, who are the two most underdrafted wide receivers? The Orb has spoken. What is up, ballers and gamers? Welcome to Ballin' and Gaming. This is a channel where we talk about fantasy football and all sorts of other crap. And today, like promised, I'm bringing the wide receivers video. Today, obviously from the Magic Orb, we're talking about the two most underdrafted wide receivers this year by far. Ain't no messing around here. We're talking about this freaking Magic Orb. Magic Orb doesn't lie. So I'm gonna jump into these stats and y'all gonna like it. Magic Orb says, wide receiver most underdrafted in this year's 2018 fantasy football draft, Larry Fitzgerald. Alright, Larry Fitz. He's 34 years old. He's about to hit 35 as soon as the season comes along. And he's obviously with the Arizona Cardinals, has been for his entire career. And of course, side note, there might be bias here because he's a Minnesota guy. Larry Fitz has finished as wide receiver 4 in 2017 and wide receiver 9 in 2016. This is PPR, of course. I'll strictly talk about PPR on this channel. And currently he's being drafted as wide receiver 15. Clearly Fitz is being underdrafted. So I'm assuming there's just like a general fear around Fitz, specifically because of his age, the change of his quarterback, and the new system that he's in. Hitting y'all with the Magic Orb stats, why are we sleeping on Larry Fitzgerald again? I feel like every year we're concerned about his age. This is the year that Larry's gonna fall off. Well, it just isn't happening. 2 years in a row at ages 33 and 34, he's absolutely just balled out in this league. People are surprised every year, but we shouldn't be. He still has the second best on the field percentage in the league at 96 of his plays at his late age. That's like DeAndre Hopkins level. Essentially, he's the Tom Brady of wide receivers. Every year we say this is the year that Brady falls off. Well, it's just not gonna happen yet. Next concern, the change of QB. Straight up, non-issue. 2017 was a cluster fall for the Arizona Cardinals. But looking at these numbers, it really doesn't even change his statistics. If anything, his PPR numbers actually only go up. The only thing in the list that does decrease is his touchdown numbers per game, but like barely. Also, these two quarterbacks that are now in the Arizona Cardinals franchise, Sam Bradford and Josh Rosen, are specifically accurate throwers, which means they throw shorter than most. And that works out great for a slot runner like Larry Fitz. And then we all know also the Bruce Arians regime is no longer. He had health issues and it just wasn't turning out in Arizona. So in comes Stephen Wilkes, but he brings in a whole new OC, specifically Mike McCoy, that we could remember from his time in San Diego. Now I know we're scared because the time with Bruce Arians was possibly Larry Fitzgerald's best time. But never fear because Mike McCoy is here. Mike McCoy is definitely notorious like Biggie for including his stars in his offense. We can throw it back to in San Diego, of course, when he was with Phillip Rivers, Melvin Gordon, and Keenan Allen. When they were all healthy, they balled out, minus Melvin Gordon's first year in San Diego. And therefore, with McCoy, DJ and Larry Fitz should ball out too. Straight up, this Hall of Famer is being underdrafted. At his number 35 ADP, his number one wide receiver upside is absolutely just being forgotten. Magic Ball, wide receiver number 2, Jarvis Landry. So quick breakdown, Jarvis is 25 years old, and this is obviously not the same concern for Larry Fitzgerald because he's young, just coming in the league, and he balls out. This is his first year with the Cleveland Browns after coming from Miami. So his recent finishes in PPR, he finished as wide receiver 5 in 2017 and wide receiver 13 in 2016. Currently being drafted as wide receiver 19, and after being arguably a top 7 wide receiver in the league. The Juice is being underdrafted. So the only information I could try to think of why his ADP is drafting is his new organization and him possibly being a number 2 behind Josh Gordon. So this organization, possibly the worst in the history of the football league. This was a team that thought Johnny Manziel was their quarterback of the future. How's that going, Canada? This organization has like none of their former draft picks still in this team, minus like Myles Garrett, Jabril Peppers, and like David Njoku. Well, they shot right with Jarvis. 3 years of being a Pro Bowler, 3 straight years on a similarly like crappy team on the Dolphins. It proves that he can like strive in a crappy organization no matter what the record is. Yes, the Dolphins made the playoffs in 2016, but 2017 they're abysmal. Also, I do want to point out Todd Haley is now on this Cleveland Browns team. Now, I know right now it kind of seems like Hugh Jackson might be just like possibly the biggest dud of a coach we've seen. He has not been fired yet, but Todd Haley's right on his behind. Now, I trust Todd Haley, especially with an offense. Todd Haley is probably the best wide receiver offensive coordinator in the league. Think about all the wide receivers that were produced in the past 6 years in Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, Martavius Bryant, Juju Smith-Schuster, even players like Emmanuel Sanders, who are like now with the Denver Broncos. Secondly, could Josh Gordon affect Juice? No. The Cleveland Browns just extended him to a fat 5-year, $75.5 million contract. They want Juice to be their number 1. Gordon is unreliable as of now and is only under a 1-year, $790,000 contract. I'm not sure they will re-sign him if he can't get his act together and produce numbers this 2018 season. Gordon isn't even a confirmed starter as it stands right now, while Juice, they know, is the guy. Now, on top of that, Tyrod Taylor is in love with this guy. So last week, this small sample, of course, but it was ridiculous. Last week, he had 10 targets and 3 red zone targets in week 3 of the preseason, which is ridiculous. I was watching that game and I'm like, dang, are they going to throw it to anyone else besides Juice? So Tyrod, K-Rod, he loves him. My only concern is if Baker eventually takes that starting role, maybe there could be a change there, considering Baker's more of a risky quarterback and he likes to air it out. But as of right now, with Tyrod Taylor throwing the ball, you can guarantee Jarvis is going to ball out. Being drafted as wide receiver 19 is just way too damn low for an elite wide receiver. His number 42 ADP is ridiculous, considering when guys like Demaryius Thomas, Amari Cooper, T.Y. Hilton, Mike Evans, who had terrible 2017s, are going ahead of possibly a top 7 wide receiver in this league. Alright guys, that's about it. Thank you to specifically the Magic Orb for giving me this information, and also thank you for the increase of views on our recent videos. I love making these and I love that you guys are watching them. My next video will probably be on wide receivers I either don't like or think are just straight up being overdrafted instead of underdrafted. Thank you for watching and see me and the Magic Orb later in the video. Peace.